when it turned red. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Today is March 11th, 2021. This is SCD community meeting. And as you can see, I'm sharing the meeting agenda, and we will go over as item on the list today. So the first thing, Peter, looks like we want to talk about the timeline of 3.5 release.
Yes, so I wanted to ask whether or propose we somehow plan a schedule for release of 3.5. So declare where we freeze and what exactly we want to put into this release, as it seems that, for example, Kubernetes is asking for some features that we already submitted, like possibility to upgrade to gRPC 1.32, for example. So having some rough timeline might be helpful.
Yeah, I am. Hold on, is it? No, it's not. Hold on, I'm at the. Wait, did I? I was trying to adding a link for the 3.5 milestone list that we have right now, but it's not showing it. There are still some item on that. Okay, here. There's still some item on that list haven't done yet. I think we need to clarify if all of them are needed. And then
part of this list, like at least some time ago, used to have carryover items from 3.0 and 3.1. So
yeah. Yeah. I don't think we have to finish all of them. We just need to identify if there is anything that we have to have in 3.5, and then get them down and cut the release.
So the second approach to this is to declare that we want to cut off in 2 months or start feature freeze in 2 months from now. And whatever is supposed to go in gets in, and it's kind of creates some form of rush before the freeze to motivate the things to go there.
Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't. Let me open this link. How urgent is the Kubernetes requirement?
I don't think there. I don't think it's extremely urgent, but I think like that they need to pick whether they are doing this in the following release or 2 release from now. So they are released quarterly. So.
How about we just give it a date, and then if people think like some item is too large to complete, and then we can still talk about it. We can put it in like a 1 month or 2. That way we have something to base on.
Okay. So there is no guaho, but like, shall we declare that we will try to start feature freeze by the end of Q2?
Sounds good to me. That's June. End of 2021 Q2. Sam, do you know in previous release, is there like an official way to let people know what's the cutting date of code freeze?
I think in the past we've just announced it here, and then I don't know if we've done if we put a date on the milestone. That might be helpful. I think we can put a date on there. maybe
Okay.
maybe we could just do an email out to the mailing list. I don't know if that's still an option, but just give as much observability as possible, possibly create an issue as well to put the date, and then I think we've covered observability.
Okay. Okay. Let's add an AI SCD dev. We can put in SCD dev mail list and an issue. Peter, do you want to do that? Or I can do that, either way is fine.
I can take this.
All right, I'll put your name there. Thank you. All right. Next item. By the way, Peter has done a lot of work on getting the 3.5 alpha out. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Next item, Sam.
Yep. So with 3.5, upstream maintainership for 3.2, my understanding will be deprecated. So Red Hat still has, we're still using 3.2, so we were just going to propose ownership of future maintenance until such time that we don't have that dependency. And just wanted to kind of get everyone's thoughts there. I don't know if anyone's still using that or if it matters, but we want it to be forthcoming. Basically, we're just in security patch mode, right? So we're not backporting features and such. It's just dependencies and security fixes.
Yeah.
So that it's more. Oh, go ahead, Suraj.
No, I was just saying that I ported a couple of security patches into 3.2, backported, just only trying to cover the security patches. But I think since Red Hat still supports OpenShift release that requires 3.2, we need to continue to maintain this. Does anyone else still use 3.2 in this group?
Okay.
Looks like the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of assumed that. So this is just kind of a heads up. The next item is just a general consensus if there's any strong feelings. So with the Zap logger, we have an option to write to a file path. One thing that like Kube API server does with its audit logs is it uses another package which is outlined in the FAQ for Zap, which basically allows for like a log rotation. The proposal, I mean, I think the proposal, initial proposal will be very uninhibited. It's basically just be very have very few flags or no flags, just have a default, and then we can kind of see how that goes. And it would be only if the output was for a file path, of course. But no, Guha had brought this up a long time ago when we were using Captain Log, and at that time, a lot of etcd's implementation was on systemd level, so logs were going to journal, so this wasn't such a big deal. And obviously in pods and containers, not always obviously a big situation, but if you were to want to write those to the host file system, it would be useful to have that. And I didn't know if anyone had strong feelings against before we did the work. So I didn't hear any objections, but I'll put up an issue, and just if anyone has strong feelings with it, you can raise them there.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Thank you. And for the 3.2 release maintenance, yeah, could we also send out messages to the community so
Sure.
people knows Yeah, I mean, we have a 3 release maintenance policy, but still, it's better if we send out the broadcast it. And Josh mentioned on the item of 3.5 release, Josh mentioned in the chat that yeah, he could help us in ping the Kubernetes release team on the blocker status. That'd be great. Thank you, Josh. And next item, hold on, I lost track. So Nate, about the website update.
Hello. So yeah, I just wanted to share where we are on the updates to the website. I'm looking at doing a dry run on the sort of Doxy conversion now, and I'm planning out based on sort of my experiences trying it, what further updates are going to need to be done. And I've been working with Josh and Sadev on a new information architecture proposal. If you would like, I can also share the existing architecture, but I think that this provides a nice way of organizing the front page that I'm hoping fits in line with the work that Josh has previously done, sort of highlighting different pieces that need to be updated. As we're rebuilding this, I'm trying to rebuild it in such a way that we don't break any links or bookmarks. And so a lot of this architecture may wind up being sort of under the hood, as it were. But the main thing that's going to have to be changed out is the front page to reflect some of the new pages that we're going to build out. And then we're going to have to build out some of those new pages to sort of reflect what we want to share with the community. Things like getting started, providing a download page, providing different things like that. So
you want to share the diagram? It's a lot of fun.
I've put a link in there.
Yeah. Do you want to take over the sharing?
Oh.
Or I can share it too, whichever way you like. I open it. Looks like a lot of things in there. So
there is a lot of stuff.
Presenting,
I'm
afraid it's hard for you to point out. Hey, let me see this part.
Sure, let me see if I can do that.
Yeah. I'm not. Let me stop sharing.
This will be the first time I've shared using Google Meet, so forgive me.
I think you can just take over. Take your time.
I'm sorry. Where's the?
It should be on the right corner.
Right button.
Right bottom. Mm-hmm.
Right button. Change. Oh,
There
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you're presenting. Can I choose a window?
If I stop.
Share now, and I want to select. Is that right? I want. I think I can just share the screen here. Let's see. Can't share. Dismiss. Oh. We'll try again. Hold on.
Yeah, it likes the tab version. If you just share the tab.
Oh, I see what. Oh, I see. I was trying to share something else. Okay, I see what's going on. Let's dismiss. Third time's lucky. Present now. A window. Oh, why is it not letting me?
Yeah, you probably want to try a tab. You have
Uh,
entire screen, a window, and a tab. Would that work?
Screen 2, let's see, allow. Oh, it's not letting me pick the tab. Interesting. I apologize. This is not.
Oh, no problem. I can share.
Here, let me wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Josh, do you want to share?
Yeah, well, yep. Hold on a second. Oh no, you got it already. So that's
There we
fine.
go.
Okay.
Oops. What just
Let me
happened?
share. I can
Okay.
share. Hold on. Let me find it. Where is it now? Oops. Oh, I lost it. A tab. Here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me make
Okay.
it bigger.
So there's first off, there's a lot of stuff here, mostly because our site has a lot of stuff, and I've tried to make sure that I'm representing everything that currently exists in this new architecture as well. So the four sort of base pieces are addition, fix, features, and evaluation. And what I'm trying to get across with those are, starting with addition, how do I build solutions? This is going to be your API reference. This is going to be your developer guide, links to GitHub, such like that. Evaluation. What is this product? Is it right for me? What problems does it solve? And how would I know? And in there, we've got our overview, getting started. We've got our community, and we've got our reference. We've also got a fix component, and under fixing, that's going to be what are the problems that I'm likely to encounter and how do I deal with them. And so that's going to be your troubleshooting, your FAQ. And so sort of understanding how to get out of trouble once you get into it, if you get into it. And lastly, the features section, and that's going to be how do I build new features and contribute to the project, and that's going to be your release guide, your contributing. I'm thinking right now, after some conversation with Josh, the evaluation section has two pieces that I think might fit better in addition, or maybe under features, and that's the reference and the community sections under the evaluation. But for the most part, I think that once we drill into these pieces, we start seeing things that are recognizable. The reference is a lot of the tooling that we've already got. We've got the administration breaking up into the ops guide, the upgrading sections, and whatnot. I've moved, or rather I would like to move, some of what was under the ops guide in terms of the platforms. We had a discussion a couple of weeks ago, I believe, on potentially moving that under the blog. And I think that's sort of more of a community focused piece. So yeah, so this is sort of this is a pass on the architecture. None of this is written in stone, and so if you want to comment on this, I'm happy for feedback. And what I've shared in the meeting is the read-only version. If you'd like, I can share the writable version. I'm not sure how many seats I have for that, but I'm happy for people to comment, and this is very much a discussion piece.
Thank you very much. That's a lot of stuff in there that you put together.
The site's big.
Yeah, it's a overview of everything we have for the documentation. That's very nice. How about we open an issuing SCD so it's easier for people to comment? You can just put the read only view there.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then we will make sure CC like the right people. Thank you.
Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to follow up on just quickly was I saw that we had a release email sent to the community mail list, which yay. But I had a follow-up question in terms of whether or not that release should be reflected in a new version cut on the website. And I'm not sure that we've got a process in place where we say, okay, major, minor, and patches all warrant a release, or maybe it's just major and minor releases warrant a docs update, or maybe it's just major. So I think that we might want to consider looking at writing up a protocol for that.
Yeah, my suggestion is that we only do an actual docs release, effectively, for major versions. I mean, minor versions we might update individual documents, but that's not shouldn't actually be gated on the minor version release,
Right.
Unless it is specifically a piece of reference information about something that changed in the minor version.
I would tend to agree with that. And
yeah,
the way it is currently set up with our current, and then, so we've got, the way it's set up is we have a current sort of live version, and then we've got each of 4 or 5 versions afterwards. And current can constantly be updated. And when it's time to cut a release on a major release, that just gets copied down and current continues on. The other thing I wanted to sort of highlight is there is also a latest shortcut. So if you go to docs or etcdio.docs/latest, you'll always get the most recent release version. You're not going to go to current that way. And so that's sort of in terms of the the .md files in the main repo. I've made sure that everything is referring to latest, not current, because current is kind of the bleeding edge at this point.
Okay, but if we want to make the releases only for the major versions, that happens once per 10 years, statistically looking, then does it make sense to distinguish current from latest? Because it's in practice the same.
By the way, I want to clarify, when I said major versions, I meant like 3.5, not 3.
Oh, okay. So minor then. Major,
major, minor, and patch.
Yeah, major, minor, patch.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
sorry.
that's fine.
I get confused because with Kubernetes 121 is a major version, and it's 121.8 that's a minor version.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a general question for Nate. I'm sort of new to this separation of docs. One thing when we make adjustments, bumping like Protoc or GoGo Proto, we regen files, and then also as a result we'll generate documentation updates for the API. My fear, because we no longer are going to be updating those in conjunction with these bumps, that this data is going to go stale. Maybe we should think about moving that tooling, if it isn't already. Maybe this is already done, but maybe we should move this tooling to your repo so that you can generate those docs in conjunction with what we're doing.
I would quite like that. As I was moving things out, I was trying to ensure that the generated docs don't get broken, and Peter was helping me with that.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that as these bumps happen, the documentation that was auto-generated still gets auto-generated. And what I would like to have happen is when someone does a PR that triggers a regen or affects the docs, that person would then do a PR on the website with that new generated doc. And so I would suggest either maybe we update our PR template to nudge people to say, hey, did you affect something that requires a documentation change, or did you trigger a build of a document that should be ported over?
Okay. I mean, as far as how these docs are generated, I'm assuming there's some automated process. Could we just include a shell script or something that basically consumes the Swagger and then generates the docs? My fear is that this just isn't going to happen, right? And I mean, we'll make efforts to do so, but yeah, if we could just automate the process, I feel like at least we would have a better chance of maintaining it.
I would very much tend to agree there. I might ask for some help.
Sure. Maybe I'll just put up a PR and we can take a look at that.
We can discuss. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
Okay. In the good news, the word back from the Kubernetes release team is that the etcd 3.5 release is not blocking Kubernetes 1.2.1.
Okay, thank you. So I guess for now, the end of Q2 still okay. All right, now we have the next item, Wilson.
Hi guys, this is Wilson, and I'm from ByteDance, and Jiaxin also my colleague, and he we are actually the first time getting really involved in the community meeting, and yeah, so what we want to discuss today is actually we are in our company, we are actually working on skill like the Kubernetes cluster, like the skill up and skill out project. And we are actually currently doing some evaluation of the performance of activity. So we with our like evaluation, we found several small issues, and there's already one that merged into the master thanks to Powder. And for the another issue which actually we are currently working on is actually for the transaction performance. We observed that for the like the transaction, when we are doing the transaction, actually the write operation, it's actually much lower than the normal like put operations. And actually after some evaluation, we found that the most probably root cause for this issue is that inside the transaction we holding like the retransaction later. When we need to do some like write operation, then we close the old real transaction and open another write transaction, right? And then and I think this is probably the root cause. And there are actually two solutions. One is like one like I mentioned in this post, and we changed the transaction logic, but that seems little bit seems that's not a really good solution. Then I actually discussed if it's possible for us to provide some like the gRPC like the API options, so that we can do the create and update and delay these operations automatically, and instead of using transactions, so that in this way, when the API server is trying to communicate with actd, then it can use these atomic operation instead of using a transaction. That's why we want to discuss this today. And also, when actually I made some change to the gRPC, and then when I'm generating the portal the portal buf file, actually I found I think the because of the file structure, file trees got changed recently, and then these scripts no longer working, and I have some I mean I had to manually make some change to the scripts to make it working. So I just first, if this is not something I'm supposed to do, then you guys can point this out to me, or if this is something that people just recently not doing, and this is something that has to be done, then I can file an issue and fix this small script issue.
So was this run on master or on 3.4? Because Sam was regenerating protos today, so probably
master.
They face the same problem today.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to do this on the master, and this is only issue in master, not the I think not in the stable versions.
Please report issue, and
okay.
We will and our PR we fix. Maybe there are some there is, if you add some cross proto dependencies in the gRPC files, unfortunately, because we are on proto 1.3 that does not understand the Go modules well, there are some custom set scripts that fix the generated protos afterwards. So it's possible that something that you added does not cooperate with this SED scripts.
I see. And also regarding the atomic operations, do you guys think because this can definitely significantly improve the write operation performance, especially during the heavy workload. So I think probably with these these new API options, so the arguments, so we can have do these API server can do this atomic operation instead of using transactions.
So my intuitions around this is that the bar for extending APIs should be rather high, and as long as the thing can be reached without similar performance without adding new stuff, then probably the preferred way is to do this using the existing APIs. So here the proposal, if I remember correctly, was that create and update is differentiating whether this is first creation of object or it's update of already existing object. So something that is relatively small, like Boolean flag on the entity. So that a lot of systems have different puts, creates from updates. But I didn't respond on the original issue because I was assuming waiting for feedback. One aspect was that the problem we were solving was related to long transactions, to long transaction and operation, and there were two concurrent PRs that were kind of improving the finalization of transaction. So didn't know whether the other fixes would give the similar benefits. And the second part was one thing is that some certain format of transactions, and we know the whole transaction upfront, may match the pattern you are looking. So changing whether the revision is not empty. And if it's a transaction that is only checking if revision is not empty, and insert is like producing logically interpreted in server as the creation with check of existence, and the optimization can trigger. And the benefit for this is that it actually starts to work for all state-of-the-art users that don't need to change code to benefit from better performance.
Okay. Yeah, this is also a good point. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll probably take a look for a look and see if there are any optimization we can do, like to do some like something like pre-processing of the transaction request, and then depending on the pre-processing, then we can like do something so to optimize it instead of like changing the current behavior, or changing the API interface.
Yeah, one more question on the API changes. In XCD community, if we like to propose some, for example, like the core API changes, if there's a like process like Kubernetes CAP process, we can go through, and people can vote it's a valid case or not, and what's the versions. For example, if we want to propose new changes, it will go to the major versions or minor versions. So could you help us understand the process?
I don't think we have a CAP process. We just like open an issue and people will comment in. For the major version and minor version change, I think we have documentation on it. Let me try to find it. Or Sam, do you have any insight while I'm looking for it?
It's been a while. I mean, I think what you outlined makes sense. It's, having an issue and starting the conversation, allowing folks to comment. That's a great first step. I don't know of a better first step. Piotr, do you have any input?
So the definitely issue are coming to community, and probably like so the question, like I like to work with docs that like allow easier commenting of certain places. So one of the options is circulating a doc, and if the proposal, like for some proposals, like for the automated promotion of follower into a leader, or not from the learner into follower, this was like going through like getting some design agreed as a markdown doc that also remains as a piece of documentation what the feature is doing, and then when it's approved, modification. About the version, like the minor version, like patch versus minor, it's, I think, better. Okay, we should better track client compatibility with the binary, like server compatibility. And it's way easier to communicate that like you need to use client 3.6 to get access to this feature that takes care of this API. So I would rather comment adding new APIs as part of the minor version release. But the flip side of this is that we are doing the minor releases very infrequently.
Okay, sounds good.
So
Yeah.
ideally, we should like put less stuff into each minor release to maybe match the Kubernetes process.
Okay, cool.
All right, Wilson and Jasmine, does that answer all your questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for the contribution and welcome to the community. And I just want to add that Josh just got feedback from the Kubernetes release team, right? So it looks like the problem with the Go mod would block Kubernetes 1.22, which is in June and July. So
the caveat to that is if there's a Go security fix that is not backported, that might move up the urgency of that considerably. So it would still, the Kubernetes said it would still help them if we could get 3.5 out the door sooner rather than later.
Okay.
yeah, giving the release time, I guess we should move up the freeze timeline. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, because end of Q2 is going to be end of June. I mean, obviously, we're not Kubernetes. I'm just saying this is what Kubernetes release is saying in terms of how it's going to affect their dependencies.
I think it would be important though that if we could try to push that, right? Try to get 3.5 at least client bump in 22. I think that would be a nice step forward.
Yeah.
Piotr.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Wenja, yeah.
Yes, so this is submitted, so it means probably kind of freeze mid-May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get into Kubernetes release, it's going to be the earlier the better, just to find to minimize the risk. Let's do mid-May for now. All right. We have gone through all the items on the agenda. Is there anything else? All right. If not, thank you very much. We have a pretty long meeting today. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, folks.